What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Anderson Silva is once again talking about what comes next in his fighting career. The legendary striker returned to action on Friday, delivering a highlight reel finish over Tyron Woodley that reminded everyone why he remains such a compelling figure in combat sports. After dropping Woodley in the second round, Silva spoke with Ariel Helwani and made it clear that retirement is not on his mind. According to Silva, he plans to go straight back to work and begin training at a police academy connected to Beverly Hills PD. He explained that he wants to give something back to the United States while continuing to pursue his passion for fighting. Silva stressed that this was not his last fight, adding that he expects to compete again at the next event. When pressed for a potential opponent, Silva didn't hesitate. He named Chris Weidman, the man who famously ended his long reign as UFC middleweight champion. Silva acknowledged Weidman's recent injury, saying he is willing to wait until his arm fully heals. His message was simple: let's do the show and demonstrate how former UFC fighters can succeed in boxing. Silva said he is waiting patiently for Weidman. The idea gained momentum quickly. Weidman responded on social media, congratulating Silva on the victory and confirming his interest. He echoed Silva's words, stating that his venom is ready and that the matchup will happen soon. Given that the pair were already scheduled to box before Weidman was forced out due to injury, a rebooking now seems increasingly likely. During the post-fight press conference, Silva also reflected on how long he plans to keep competing. He admitted there is no set number in his mind. Instead, he said he wakes up grateful each morning, thankful for the opportunity to continue balancing his work, business, and training. Despite concerns from family members, Silva embraced the idea that his desire to fight is rooted in passion. With the latest win, Silva now holds a professional boxing record of 4 wins and 2 losses. He has also taken part in exhibition bouts against Chael Sonnen and Bruno Machado, contests that ended without official results. Silva continues to move forward, the raw, motivated by love for competition, discipline, and the thrill of proving himself again on the big stage, regardless of age or expectations surrounding his future in combat sports today. And the journey shows no signs of stopping. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Strickland had some sharp words for Andrew Tate following Tate's recent loss, and the exchange quickly caught attention online. Taking to X, Strickland didn't hold back at all, writing that he had told everyone who Andrew Tate really was and claiming the loss exposed him. Strickland also dismissed Tate's credentials, saying that being an ISCA champion meant nothing in the bigger picture. The comments didn't go unanswered. Tate's opponent, Dior, fired back at Strickland with an aggressive response of his own, telling him to watch his mouth and making it clear he took offense to the criticism. The back and forth added even more fuel to an already heated moment surrounding the fight. Earlier in the day, Andrew Tate himself addressed the loss in a lengthy post. He reflected on age, pressure, and the mindset that led him to step back into competition. Tate said that many men his age and with his level of wealth would choose an easy life, talking online and taking no risks. He admitted that deep down he knew he was older and had been out of the game for too long, but felt he needed to face that fear head-on. Tate acknowledged the defeat openly, stating that he lost fair and square. He praised Dior, calling him a true champion and a warrior, and said Dior deserved to walk away with the belt. The tone of his message was noticeably respectful, focused more on acceptance than excuses. Tate also made a surprising admission about potential future matchups, saying he doesn't believe he's ready for Jake Paul. He explained that time catches up to everyone and that fighting is ultimately a pursuit for young men, not something that can be maintained forever. Andrew's brother, Tristan Tate, also shared his thoughts after the fight. He pointed out that Andrew is not the same man he was a decade ago, and that age showed in the ring. Despite that, Tristan expressed pride in his brother for stepping in and trying, saying he respects him deeply and will support whatever path he chooses moving forward. Moving on to another news. Colby Covington did not hold back when reacting to Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, ripping into the entire event and calling it a complete embarrassment. Covington said he wasn't impressed at all by Jake lasting 6 rounds, adding that he couldn't believe people actually put money on Jake to win the fight. Covington mocked the idea that the bout was anything more than a spectacle, saying if it was scripted, Anthony Joshua clearly never got the script. He compared the fight to a Jackass-style stunt, referencing the moment when Johnny Knoxville stepped into a boxing match with Butterbean in a department store. According to Covington, fans tuned in not for elite boxing, but simply to see whether Jake was foolish enough to get battered by a legitimate heavyweight boxer. He went on to say that Jake didn't prove he was tough or a real boxer. Instead, Covington claimed Jake only proved how reckless and delusional he is for continuing to step into fights like this. He doubled down by saying he couldn't believe people actually believed a former Disney Channel kid could beat an Olympic gold medalist and former world heavyweight champion. Covington labeled the entire show an embarrassment to combat sports and suggested that Jake's run as a fighter might finally be over. He said he wouldn't be surprised if Jake hangs up the gloves for good after this loss. Covington added that there are no shortcuts in fighting and nothing that can be injected or manufactured to turn someone into a real fighter. Finishing his rant, Covington told Jake to leave fighting to the professionals and go back to selling products and playing influencer roles. His message was clear and brutal, making it obvious he sees no place for Jake Paul in serious combat sports and no future for him inside the ring after such a humiliating performance. Moving on to another news, new details continue to emerge surrounding Ilia and his ongoing situation with Georgina Uskategui, and the story appears to be getting more complicated by the day. With it now confirmed that Ilia will not be defending his title anytime soon, attention has shifted toward the personal issues that have reportedly played a major role in his extended absence from competition. For some time, there were rumors suggesting that Ilia's hiatus from the UFC was connected to a divorce. The champion later acknowledged that personal matters were the reason he stepped away from fighting, though specifics were not initially shared. More recently, reports claimed that after Ilia filed a civil separation lawsuit involving Georgina, the situation escalated significantly behind the scenes. According to those reports, Georgina allegedly threatened to release damaging material if certain financial demands were not met. In a subsequent statement attributed to Ilia, he stated that he had been subjected to severe and unacceptable pressure. That pressure allegedly included threats to spread false allegations of domestic abuse unless financial conditions were satisfied. Ilia strongly denied the claims and framed the situation as an attempt to force his hand during legal negotiations. Journalist Martha Korbal of El Mundo has continued to cover the developing story, and a follow-up summary shared through ACDMA outlined several notable points. Both parties are said to have a prenuptial agreement in place. Georgina is reportedly living in the family home with their daughter, as she currently does not have another residence in Spain. Her broader family network is said to be based in the United States and Venezuela. Another major detail involves Ilia's daily life over the past 2.5 years. It has been reported that much of his life has been recorded around the clock due to an ongoing documentary project. Ilia allegedly claims that this footage, along with other recordings, supports his position and proves he is innocent of the accusations being circulated. At this stage, the two sides reportedly remain far apart when it comes to financial terms. Sources suggest that increasing monetary demands were made, while Ilia refused to concede, believing that doing so would amount to giving in to blackmail. People close to his environment have pushed back on the idea of extortion, stating instead that this is a standard divorce process where both sides are struggling to reach an economic agreement. Based on everything that has surfaced so far, the situation does not appear close to resolution. Unfortunately for fans, that ongoing uncertainty could mean Ilia remains away from the octagon for quite some time, as these deeply personal matters continue to play out away from the spotlight. Moving on to another news. Tensions flared at the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua event on Friday when Andre Arlovski was involved in a physical altercation with streamer Jack Doherty and several people around him. Videos from the scene quickly circulated online, showing a chaotic moment with shouting, pushing, and security rushing in to separate everyone involved. In the footage, voices can be heard yelling for people to chill, while others tried to pull individuals away from each other. The situation escalated fast, with Arlovski being escorted away as the crowd reacted loudly. Several bystanders appeared shocked as security cleared the area and attempted to restore order. Shortly after the clip went viral, Arlovski addressed the incident by leaving a brief comment online. He wrote that he was sorry and admitted that he did not act like a professional athlete in that moment. The message was short, but suggested some level of regret over how things unfolded during the confrontation. Jack Doherty later shared his side of the story on X, pushing back strongly against criticism. According to Doherty, he claimed that he was simply walking by when Arlovski suddenly tried to kick him without any provocation. Doherty insisted that he did not say or do anything to start the incident and felt he was unfairly being painted as the villain. He went on to say that people were quick to blame him because of his age, adding that critics were pointing fingers at someone half their age and, in his words, far more successful. Doherty argued that viewers should watch the video carefully before making judgments, claiming the footage supports his version of events. Doubling down on his stance, Doherty reiterated that the altercation began when Arlovski allegedly made the first move. He maintained that he was minding his own business and that the situation spiraled out of control from there. As reactions continue to pour in online, opinions remain divided, with fans debating responsibility and professionalism after another unexpected incident outside the ring. Moving on to another news, being an MMA and UFC fan is about to become much more affordable, as Paramount has officially announced the total cost to watch every UFC event in 2026. According to the announcement, the full year of UFC content will cost fans less than the price of a single pay-per-view from 2025, which has surprised many across the community. In 2025, fans who wanted to watch every UFC pay-per-view would have needed to spend a massive $1,167. That figure does not even include fight night cards or additional programming. By comparison, Paramount Plus will offer complete access to the entire 2026 UFC schedule for just $59.99 for the year. The subscription will include all 13 marquee numbered UFC events scheduled for 2026, along with 30 UFC fight night cards. Fans will also get a brand new season of The Ultimate Fighter, as well as a new season of Dana White's Contender Series, giving viewers deeper access to rising prospects and behind-the-scenes competition. On top of live events, the service will feature a growing archive of classic UFC fights, iconic moments, and historical programs from across the organization. Subscribers will also have access to popular Paramount Plus original series, including Landman and School Spirits. Overall, the deal represents a major shift in accessibility, giving fans more UFC content than ever before at a fraction of the previous cost. Moving on to another news. Jorge Masvidal has pushed back strongly against Ian Gary after Gary suggested that Kamaru Usman is irrelevant in the welterweight division. Masvidal stepped in to defend the former champion, even admitting that he never expected to find himself speaking up for Usman, but felt the comment crossed the line. Masvidal reacted to Gary's claim that Usman is a has-been, acknowledging that while Usman may not be in his prime anymore, that does not erase what he has accomplished. He pointed out that at one point, Usman was arguably the greatest welterweight of all time and questioned who gets to decide relevance in the sport. Masvidal made it clear that legacy and ability do not disappear just because time moves forward. He also took aim at Gary's resume, saying the criticism was wild, coming from someone who has not reached the same level. Masvidal referenced Gary's win over Baralho, noting that it wasn't a dominant performance, and suggesting that eye pokes played a role. In his view, that alone does not justify dismissing a former long-reigning champion like Usman. Masvidal went further, saying that even with Usman getting older and nearing 40, he would still favor him heavily against Gary in a potential matchup. He acknowledged that Gary has physical gifts and size, describing him as massive for the division, almost like a light heavyweight fighting at welterweight. However, Masvidal added that many fighters could trouble Gary, pointing out that he has already been hurt before. He mentioned Khamzat as one of the most deserving contenders at 170 pounds, and said he hopes to see him return soon. Overall, Masvidal's message was clear, calling it disrespectful to label Kamaru Usman irrelevant given everything he has proven in the cage. Moving on to another news, Ilia has given his approval to the UFC moving forward with an interim lightweight title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, calling the matchup well-deserved despite mixed reactions from fans. Earlier, Ilia announced he would be stepping away from competition to deal with personal matters, which led the UFC to book Gaethje versus Paddy for the interim belt in the main event of UFC 324 on January 24. Some fans questioned the need for an interim title and also raised concerns about the absence of Arman, who many view as the clear #1 contender. However, Ilia explained that he had already discussed the situation with the UFC and understood their decision. He said they were fully aware he could not compete in January, and because of his personal circumstances, the promotion chose to keep the division active by creating the interim title fight. Ilia said he is happy with how things played out and believes both fighters earned the opportunity. In his words, this is the closest either of them has come to holding a world championship, and he congratulated both men. At the same time, he made it clear that whoever wins will eventually have to face the real champion once he returns. Gaethje is no stranger to interim gold, having previously captured an interim title with a knockout win over Tony Ferguson in 2020 before losing in a unification bout against Khabib later that year. Since then, Gaethje has gone 4-2, most recently picking up a win over Rafael Fiziev. Paddy, meanwhile, enters the fight riding a 9-fight winning streak and a perfect 7-0 run inside the UFC, though some of his recent wins came against veterans past their prime. Ilia suggested that if Gaethje wins, the UFC may have different plans that he cannot reveal yet. However, he admitted that a potential fight against Gaethje at the White House would excite him greatly. He also hinted that Paddy might have a better chance of capitalizing on the opportunity, adding that Gaethje faces a difficult task, stopping the momentum behind Paddy and the UFC's plans. Ilia also shared his thoughts on the matchup itself, saying it is always hard to make predictions in fights like this. He noted Gaethje's dangerous power, heavy calf kicks, and damaging right hand, while pointing out that Paddy has taken a lot of punishment in past fights. He described the clash as extremely exciting for fans. For now, Ilia remains focused on his family and personal life. He said there is no exact timeline for his return, but once everything is resolved, he plans to come back to the octagon and deliver the kind of performances people expect from him.